Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 54 based on novel. So let's start. Yin Xie and the Nine Soul Monument attacked together viciously, producing an extremely terrifying explosion. Do it. The Nine Souls Monument also said coldly. Obviously, to deal with this evil, the Nine Soul Monument at this time is also helpless. After all, the power of the two has also consumed a lot. Wu Jiang, Hu Du and Tianhua Shanghu also looked at each other when they heard the words, and then the terrifying fighting spirit spread from their bodies in an instant, and then launched an attack on the evil spirits. Terrifying and successive attacks followed, constantly attacking the evil spirits. Damn! Yin Xie was also shocked. Wu Jiang and Hu Du broke the power of the ghost in his body to protect his body. He didn't expect this. After losing this layer of terrifying defense, Yin Xie's strength has also dropped a lot, and he also consumed a lot of strength in the previous attack with the Nine Soul Monument, so his expression became solemn. Susu. The low voice also echoed slowly on the illness of several people in Wujiang. The four extremely dark chains on Yin Xie's body also appeared, and they continued to resist the attack of the four. As soon as he appeared, he attacked the four with a monstrous evil aura. Ha ha ha. Yin evil. The twin ghost emperors are two in one after all, and your half-strength is still weaker after all. The Nine Soul Steely also laughed. Although this Yin evil has just gathered the power of the Yin Corpse Forest, and successfully broke through the half-step 8th rank ghost emperor, but as long as the true meaning of Meizizi is merged into one, then they still have a chance. Humph. Then give it a try. Susu. Yin Xie also snorted coldly. On top of the pitch-black chains, one after another extremely terrifying ferocious spirits murmured, and then flew towards the four of them. The Heavenly Fire Sacred Tiger's four flame barriers emerged, and instantly blocked the four black ones, but above the flame barrier, a faint blue flame was slowly beating. Wu Jiang was also surprised. Obviously, he did not expect that the 5-star Do Di level Heavenly Fire Sacred Flame could resist the attack of the evil spirits. What are you doing here? Come down. Tianhua Shanghu also knew that his defense would definitely not be able to resist this evil attack, just to buy time for them. But when he saw a familiar figure in front of him, he shouted loudly, "Count me in." Mu Yingying bit her lips slightly, and then the blue flames all over her body also slowly surrounded her body. That's... At this time, Xiao Yan on the ground was also staring at Mu Yingying in the sky. The blue flame on her body seemed to... It seems a little strange. This flame on Mu Yingying's body is definitely not an ordinary flame. Xiao Yang also concluded at a glance, because Xiao Yang felt that the flame in his body was somewhat afraid of the blue flame on Mu Yingying's body. That flame. It's more terrifying than the new flames created by the fusion of your 23 different fires. But it's still a little weaker than Saint Flame. The Golden Dragon King's voice echoed. Isn't this azure flame a holy flame? Why do I feel that this azure flame is a little weird? Xiao Yang also said to himself. Xiao Yang felt an extremely terrifying fluctuation from the blue flame, but sometimes the fluctuation became dull. It's as if it disappears and appears from time to time. Senior. Xiao Yang thought to no avail. He also walked forward, then looked at Xiaoya in front of him, and supported his weak body. I'm fine, I just didn't expect that the power of this evil spirit is so terrifying. Xiao Yu's originally handsome face also showed some fatigue. Senior, is there no way to do this evil? Xiao Yang also murmured. I'm here because of this. I can feel that there is some extremely terrifying power in you, and the evil spirit just revealed the body for a moment. This evil is not an immortal body. As long as it hits his heart, then he is also broken, but the defense at the heart is quite terrifying, if one is not careful. Xiaoye also said, saying that Xiaoye did not continue to say here, because this kind of is a thankless thing. I go. It's a repayment to Senior for teaching space shuttle skills. Xiao Yang also said, and then there was a serious flash of decisiveness. No. Xiao Yang, you can't go. Yueru's slightly angry voice also appeared. The strength of that evil is now comparable to the strength of a human 8-star duty powerhouse. Even if it consumes a lot of strength, it is not something you can handle. I absolutely disagree. Yueru also said angrily. This time, let me be willful once. Don't worry, I will come back alive. After all, I haven't helped you complete your inheritance, so I won't leave easily. Xiao Yang also laughed, but an invisible force bound Yueru to the spot. Yueru still wanted to say something, but she was helplessly restrained in place, but at this time Yueru was very quiet and had no intention of struggling. However, Xiao Yang believed that as long as she made any mistakes, then Yueru would be fine. Hesitating to unlock the seal of inheritance. Before leaving, Senior Yueru still asked Xiao Yang to take good care of her. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, milky white flames instantly covered his entire body, and then he suddenly lifted into the air. Because Xiao Yang possesses huge soul power, he also knows that the 4 people in the sky can barely fight against the evil spirits. If there is no one who really attacks, then the fate of these people is only one, fall. This is obviously not what Xiao Yang wants to see, so Xiao Yang also shot. Why are you standing still? Give him the final blow. Tianhua Shenghu also said. Immediately, he launched an attack. Are you Xiao Yang? Mu Yingying obviously did not expect this Xiao Yang to be so bold, and she did not flinch in the face of this powerful ghost emperor. I can't change my name, I can't change my surname. Xiao Yang also smiled slightly. This is not a place you can come to. You should go to the lower bunk. Mu Yingying also bit her lips slightly. Obviously she did not take Xiao Yang's previous record in her heart at all. After all, those were ordinary competitions, and this was the fight. The present person is Xiao Yang's strength in the early stage of the 4-star Do-D, which is really not enough to see. You don't have to worry about it. Since I dare to come up, I have my plans. Xiao Yang also said coldly. Mu Yingying was also at a loss for words. It was obvious why Xiao Yang was so inhumane. What could his strength in the early stage of the 4-star Do Emperor be able to do here? I don't like hiding behind a woman. Xiao Yang also laughed. After speaking, he ignored Mu Yingying, and then an unheard of terrifying aura suddenly surged out. This is... The evil eyes on the side stared at the azure flames on Mu Yingying's body, which seemed a little unbelievable. The ghosts around her body were also deeply afraid when the azure flames appeared. It's really brave. When the time comes, don't. Mu Yingying also bit her lips slightly, obviously annoyed by Xiao Yang's words. In the sky, the battle is still going on, but people with discerning eyes also know that this battle has entered the final stage. The immortal sword in the hand of the 9-soul stele kept bursting with dazzling rays of light, and in conjunction with the extremely tyrannical purification power of some owners, it attacked the evil spirits, causing the evil spirits to retreat. On the side, Tianhua Shengyang, Hu Du, and Wu Jiang are assisting the 9 Souls Monument, because whenever the 9 Souls Monument attacks, it is weakened short-term to gather energy for the immortal sword. After all, this immortal sword is powerful, but it is broken. With the protection of the 3 of them, the 9 Soul Monument also has a chance to breathe. As for Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying, they were floating in the sky, outside the battle. Why is this evil always defending and not attacking? The 9 Soul Stele also discovered that no matter how he attacked, he couldn't hit the evil spirit's body, as if his attack had been resolved by the evil. How could this woman have that kind of power? Impossible. Yin Xie was also violently tumbling in his heart at this time. Then, with the appearance of Mu Yingying, the heart hidden under the black energy in Yin Xie's body also began to beat even more violently, as if seeing something. Damn, stop for me. Yin Xie was also shocked at this time. The heart in the body is not evil, because the body of evil is ghosts, so they can't cultivate the body, and they can't condense the body, but they can use the human body to attach to it and make them stronger. Diligent. Therefore, the appearance of the woman in white that Xiao Yang had seen before was the body of the evil, a human woman's body. Although the strength of the female in white was extremely weak, it was fortunate that this body was quite consistent with the evil, so she was sealed away. At that time, Yin Xie tried to assimilate the white-clothed woman, but the obsession in the white-clothed woman's heart was too persistent, so Yin Xie had no choice. But later, after the woman in white gave Xiao Yang a support, that obsession was suppressed, but it was unexpected that when Mu Yingying appeared, the obsession in her heart became more and more obsessive. Damn it, stop me. Yin Xie couldn't help but scolded, and then no matter what Yin Xie was, his heart was beating violently. Then a few people from the 9 Souls Stele saw that the ghost energy on the body of Yin Xie gradually became extremely illusory, and slowly revealed the appearance of a woman. It's actually a woman. Tianhua Shengyang was also surprised, apparently not expecting that this shocking twin ghost emperor was actually a woman. The woman was dressed in a white dress, but her cheeks were covered by a black aura. The most striking thing was that on the woman's chest, a mass of white energy was beating violently. Yin Xie also made a tragic cry. What's the matter? Xiao Yang also murmured, obviously not knowing the current situation. This Mu Yingying's body is really not simple. The appearance of Yin Xie should be related to Mu Yingying. As for the white energy on the Yin Xie's chest, I guess if it is correct, it is the obsession of the woman in white you saw before. It's the heart. The Golden Dragon King's voice echoed in Xiao Yang's mind. There seems to be something between this woman in white and Mu Yingying. Xiao Yang also muttered. Mu Yingying on the side, bit her lips slightly, then stared blankly at the white energy on Yin Xie's chest, only to see that the silver jewelry above Mu Yingying's head suddenly radiated extremely dazzling light. What is that? How can there be such a warm feeling? Mu Yingying said softly, with a lot of confusion in her voice. Be careful, what is this evil doing? The Nine Soul Monument also said in a low voice. Ha ha ha. Originally, this evil spirit hasn't assimilated this body, but now is your last chance. Hongye, get ready to do it. After Yu Quan finished speaking, he also slowly raised the aura in his body. Lord Inxia. The Ghost and Mueller finally arrived, and then the Ghost also saw the screaming sinister in the sky and shouted loudly. Mueller, you bring our people and the people of Honggu to clear all the human beings on the ground, and I will help Lord Inxia. Yeah. Mueller also agreed. Although he didn't know the current situation, the terrifying and evil aura emanating from the evil in the sky was undoubtedly much stronger than Mueller himself, so Mueller also agreed. Road. Kill me. Those who block adults, kill without mercy. Mueller also stared at the humans on the ground, and then said hideously, kill. After Mueller finished speaking, the ghosts surrounded by black and ghostly aura also attacked the humans on the ground frantically. With the advent of the infernal corpse, Muller's strength has also increased to the middle stage of the 4-star Do Emperor, and the strength of the Ghost has also increased to the level of the 5-star Do Emperor. Damn, so many powerful ghosts. Mu Feng was the first to notice the ghosts attacking them. He immediately took out his wooden sword and broke the restriction beside Yueyu, and then his expression was solemn. Look at the ghost in front of you. Because from his perception, the strength of these ghosts is comparable to that of a 4-star human fighting emperor, and there are other ghosts that are comparable to the peak of a 4-star human fighting emperor. At the same time, Qiu Huanyao, Luo Guang and others were also facing the attack of ghosts, and immediately had to give up the battle in the sky and concentrate on dealing with the attack in front of them. Mu Yingying, are you all right? Xiao Yang also asked tentatively, but waited for Xiao Yang's silence. Damn it. Xiao Yang also snorted coldly, looking at the Yin corpse not far away, and then a thought came into his mind. For seniors, help me. 1 minute. Xiao Yang also said. After he finished speaking, he closed his eyes. Almost terrifying forces were constantly converging in Xiao Yang's body. Okay. What is this kid doing? Juhun Monument and Wu Jiang were also puzzled, but looking at Xiao Yang's movements, they didn't ask any further questions, and attacked the corpse that was still screaming in front of her. Ha ha ha. At this time, the screams of the corpse also gradually weakened. I saw that the laughter of the corpse was even more terrifying at this time, but the white energy in the chest was slowly being swallowed by the corpse. It's been so many years. You should be at ease too. Humans don't have a good thing. Ju, let me slaughter all the unscrupulous people for you. With the hideous laughter of the corpse, the white energy in the chest also slowly disappeared, and finally became the power of the corpse itself. Ha ha ha. Xie Yin, I don't know where you died. But I don't need you anymore, because I have assimilated her. The twin ghost emperors are back. An extremely roaring voice echoed throughout the infernal corpse forest. As the evil spirits devoured all the obsessions of the white-clothed woman, her strength was like a natural breakthrough to the 8th-rank ghost emperor. The twin ghost emperors who are comparable to the 8-star fighting emperors of human beings. Yin Xie couldn't stop laughing at this moment, and then stared at everyone in the sky. Since I'm a complete body now, let's start the slaughter with you. 9 Soul Steely, do you still remember when you and the 5 fighting immortals from Xian Tiantian joined forces to seal me? This seal is thousands of years old, and now it's time to settle the account between us. After Yin Xie finished speaking, his body flashed strangely, and the next moment he appeared in front of the 9 Souls Monument. Ha ha ha. The 9 Soul Monument was not in a hurry at this time. Although the evil spirits in front of them had truly merged with the human body, their strength had greatly increased, but in the previous battle, not only did the fighting chi in their bodies have been used almost, the ghost energy in Inxia's body is also squandered 9 times out of 10. Moreover, Xiao Yang was still accumulating terrifying power in front of him, so the 9 Soul Monument also nodded, and then looked at the evil spirit. Although you have broken through the bondage, I believe that you are at the end of your power at this time. So you don't have the ability to kill us. The 9 Souls tablet also laughed, and then the grudge in the body also tumbled. Ha ha, as expected of an old rival. However, you have to try it to find out. Yin Xie also sneered, and now he is indeed, as the Nine Souls monument said, the ghost energy in his body has been used almost 9 times out of 10, the final choice. It is to find a place to restore and consolidate the strength in his body, and wait until he regains his strength. Killing these little shrimps is the same as slaughtering. However, with a sinister personality, he will definitely not let these people go. Because as long as Yin Xie kills these people, their remaining souls, even soul fragments, can provide Yin Xie with extremely terrifying power. So Yin Xie is also jealous, so he decided to take a gamble. In addition, Yin Xie is also the last resort to fear the Nine Soul Monument at this time. Self-destruct. That was the self-destruction of a peak powerhouse of the 7-star Dodi. The power generated cannot be underestimated, so Yin Xie doesn't have enough confidence at this time, so he doesn't dare to touch the Nine Soul Monument. However, after a short thought, Yin Xie decided to kill the Nine Soul Monument, because Yin Xie was still jealous of their power. Even though I don't dare to kill you now, it's time to get something back. After Yin Xie finished speaking, the only ghost energy left in his body surrounded him, and then he attacked the Nine Souls Monument. The dark chains went straight through the body of the Nine Souls Monument, and the Nine Souls Monument also laughed strangely at the moment when the dark chains passed through its body. I heard that this is a unique thing in your ghost world. One hand grabbed it tightly, and then the Nine Soul Monument also said solemnly, the soul chain, if you are hit by this thing, even if you are a strong immortal warrior, you can't escape the end of your fall. You can accept your fate on the Nine Soul Monument. But don't worry, the rest will come down to accompany you. Yin Xie said with a smile. Ha ha ha. Yin Xie, you underestimate me too. The Nine Souls tablet gave a cold smile, and the next moment, a terrifying red flame spread out instantly, and then followed the dark chains, continuously towards Yin Xie's body. Damn old ghost. Stubborn. Yin Xie also snorted coldly. He was obviously shocked by the Nine Soul Chain's life-for-life method. It's just that the evil spirits are under the red flame of the Nine Soul Monument, and the ghost energy in the body is also becoming thinner. Where the Nine Soul Steely and Yin Xie are constantly confronting, no one can do anything. Obviously, the two of them are also doing their last desperate effort. Go to hell. After a stalemate for a while, the dark ghosts on the surface of the evil spirits were in full swing, and 4 extremely terrifying soul-locking chains roared towards the Nine Souls Monument. Hehe, Yin Xie, you are too arrogant. A hearty voice also appeared in Yin Xie's mind. Immediately, seeing that the 4 chain tablets that were about to hit the Nine Souls Steely were shaken out of thin air. You are. Yin Xie also felt that something was wrong. Chang Yu. The red-robed man said indifferently. The deputy pavilion owner of the outer pavilion of the Burning Incense Pavilion? Yin Xie said in a shocking voice. Yin Xie, you should go back with me. The sin you committed is too heavy. Chang Yu said slowly. Damn it. Yin Xie also became serious. Obviously all this is beyond the control of Yin Evil. Master. The ghost spirit also appeared behind the evil spirits. You came just in time, how are your preparations? Yin Xie also said. Yuquan has betrayed. Master Xie Yin was killed by Yuquan. All the preparations are controlled by Yuquan. The ghost spirit also said slowly. It's troublesome. Yin Xie was furious when he heard the words, and this ghost in the secluded spring actually wanted to commit the following. You'd better take care of yourself first. After Chang Yu finished speaking, no matter what the evil was thinking, he waved his hand, and a beam of flame with terrifying power attacked the evil. Yin Evil is also constantly running away from being attacked. On the other side, Mu Yingying also recovered from the trance state just now, but apparently absent-minded, she muttered, what is the breath of that guy? Why does it feel familiar? On the other side, Xiao Yang also closed his eyes slightly, and then sat up in the air, his hands facing each other, but there was a terrifying fluctuation in his hands, an invisible soul force condensed, and 23 different fires were condensed before. The lotus of annihilation that came out of the power, and an inscription of life, condensed slightly on Xiao Yang's chest. I don't know if it will work. Xiao Yang also said helplessly in his heart. Be careful, this kind of thing has never been done before. And I always feel that there is an extremely evil power in this evil spirit, and it seems that Chang Yu can't defeat this evil. The Golden Dragon King's vigilant voice also sounded. Yeah. Xiao Yang didn't hesitate after finishing speaking. The beautiful lotus of destruction slowly stood in the middle of his hands on his left hand. It was an extremely terrifying soul force, and on his right hand, there was an extremely terrifying spiritual force. 3 forces of completely different nature also appeared in front of Xiao Yan. As soon as they appeared, the 3 forces burst into the sky with repulsive force, and Xiao Yang's left and right hands were also rejected and could not close together. Damn it. There's a reason why I can't control my own power. Fix it for me. Xiao Yang also roared in his heart. Xiao Yang, that is. Tianhua Shenghu also noticed the 3 extremely terrifying powers contained in Xiao Yang's body, and turned his head, very surprised. The terrifying Lotus of Annihilation inherits the power of flame and destruction, while the terrifying soul power can destroy the brain center of the enemy. As for the final spiritual power, the enemy can be imprisoned. This is also the first time Xiao Yang has combined all the power in his body. I don't know how terrifying this power can be. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he also licked his slightly dry tongue that was touched by the flames. Immediately, he also controlled the huge soul power and the divine inscription in his body, frantically suppressing the 3 forces, trying to calm them down. It's really a lunatic. Qiu Huanyao, Luo Guang and others on the ground were surprised when they saw Xiao Yang's every move. Because they can all feel that any of the 3 terrifying forces in Xiao Yang's hands has the power to destroy them, damn it. It's still a little bit. Xiao Yang's pupils shrank tightly at this time, bloodshot inside his eyes, and then desperately tried his best to slowly compress the 3 forces in his hand. The invisible soul power and spiritual power are like enemies as soon as they come into contact, madly devouring each other. As for the Lotus of Silence, it was lying flat and slowly floating in the middle of Xiao Yang's hands. Let the 2 forces struggle desperately. After all, in terms of power, no matter whether it is huge soul power or spiritual power, it is not as powerful as the Lotus of Silence formed by the fusion of 23 different fires. Damn, if the fighting qi in my body can't support fusion, it will be consumed to death sooner or later. Xiao Yang also scolded loudly, obviously wanting to compress his soul power and spiritual power into the Lotus of Annihilation. The fighting spirit required is also extremely terrifying. This has just started for a while, and the grudge in the body has been squandered by nearly half. Just when Xiao Yang felt helpless, his hand suddenly lit up, and then a rather mysterious rune disappeared in an instant. It's the evil soldier in the ghost world that Xiao Yang just got, the Soul Eater talisman. This flash of light was naturally not discovered by others, but Xiao Yang was also pleasantly surprised to discover that the appearance of the Soul Eater talisman invisibly exuded an extremely tyrannical black power, and the black power contained extremely powerful the power of devouring. As soon as the power of devouring appeared, it shocked the invisible soul power and spiritual power. And as the soul power and spiritual power quieted down, Xiao Yang also grinned. Then, without hesitation, he controlled the burning decision in his body, compressing all the terrifying soul power and spiritual power in the Lotus of Silence. It's just that Xiao Yang didn't realize that an extremely dark power was also fused in, and that power was emanating from the Soul Eater talisman. There is an extremely evil aura of destruction above the jet black power. Don't do useless struggle. Right now, your strength is languishing, and it's not on the same level as mine. Chang Yu also said slowly. Damn old ghost, actually waiting for the rabbit. Yin Xie also shouted, obviously very angry. Unexpectedly, Xian Santian's righteous path was actually prepared, and now it will be troublesome. Yin Xie also looked at Chang Yu's extremely tyrannical fighting spirit, and also knew that this Chang Yu was a powerhouse at the peak of the 7-star Do Emperor, and now, Chang Yu is in a period of total victory. The vindictive energy in the body has not been used at all, and it fills the whole body. The Yin Xie is different. Although it has integrated the obsession of the white-clothed woman and completed the fusion that does not require the evil yin, she has become a real twin ghost emperor, but after all, the Yin Xie has just broken through the seal, and her original strength has not recovered much. Fighting with the Nine Souls Monument, so although Yin Xie's strength is an 8th-rank ghost emperor at this time, it is comparable to the strength of a human 8-star fighting emperor. But at this time, the evil spirits in the body were very embarrassed by the immortal swords in the hands of the Nine-Soul Monument and some powerful purification powers, and the strength was only able to deal with the 6-star Do Emperor powerhouse. As for Chang Yu, the peak of the 7-star Do Emperor, the words of the strong. Yin Xie's expression condensed slightly, then looked at Chang Yu, obviously thinking of something. Is this the plan you've been planning for years? Chang Yu also shook his head, watching the battle on the ground. At this time, the battle on the ground, although it seems that ghosts have the upper hand, but as time passes by, it is also countered by Qiu Huanyao and a few people. The most turbulent thing to kill was the woman with the little snake in her jade hand. Yu Yu and Mu Feng were defending, and this woman showed off her skills. Seeing this, Mueller said angrily, "What a bunch of trash." Immediately, he also said angrily to a group of people in Honggu behind him, "You guys are not here yet. Why should we listen to you? We only listen to our valley master's orders, and don't listen to other people's orders." A burly man also stood up and said, "Damn Red Valley, play this game with me." Mueller also secretly wrote down the people in this Red Valley, and then he looked at the devastated ghosts on the ground, and they also hid. After all, Mueller was still afraid of this kind of human power. Of the person. "Look, Yin Evil. Looks like you are over." Chang Yu also stood quietly above the sky, and then slowly looked at the evil way. It's just that Xiao Yang is still condensing his things at this time, a very terrifying thing. Outside the delicate lotus seeds glowing with 23 colors, there is a second layer of invisible power slowly wrapping the lotus of annihilation. When the wrapping is completed, it is also the time of success. But fortunately, under Chang Yu's attraction and Xiao Yang's cover-up, this move was not discovered by others. At most, others found out that this was Xiao Yang meditating. Mu Yingying, who was beside him, also returned to normal. Obviously, how could there be a very familiar feeling in the heart of Yin Xie just now? That feeling. It's as if we've known each other. That's why Mu Yingying had the scene just now, but now she has come back to her senses. Just now she was thinking about looking at the battlefield, but she found that there was a strong man who was watching the evil spirits, and she immediately put her eyes on Xiao Yang. "This kid. What are you doing?" Mu Yingying also bit her lips slightly, then her beautiful eyes kept moving, and the next moment, her beautiful eyes exuded a very surprised look. How can this kid have so many sources of flame? And he fused them all together. Mu Yingying also covered her lips slightly with her jade hand, so as not to give off too terrifying surprise. Mu Yingying also has a kind of flame on her body. She naturally knows how terrifying the flame is. Even with her current strength at the peak of the 4-star Do Di, she would not dare to try this method. It can be said that Xiao Yang is a daring expert. It's over above the sky. Chang Yu also discovered that the ghosts on the ground were defeated by himself, and then said lightly, but when he spoke, his whole body was pushed to the extreme. An invisible wave also permeated the space on the 3rd floor of the corpse forest. Hey! This time it was really a miscalculation. I never thought it would turn out like this in the end. Charm, start it. Let these humans take a good look at the power in our ghost world. The corpse was relieved, and then although the corpse finished speaking, the body of the ghost spirit on the side also swelled violently, and a terrifying ghost was also instantaneous. Full body. This is not good. Hong Yi's eyes were also slightly red. She clearly realized something and shouted loudly. Bang bang bang. But Hong Yi's shouting didn't stop him, and the bodies of the people in Honggu that she brought in the distance instantly swelled up like ghosts and ghost. Chang Yu. Fengxiang and I also have a deep hatred. This time, just stay and savor the fear of death. After Yin Xie finished speaking, a rather mysterious power also emanated from the body, causing an extremely terrifying blood-colored vortex in the back sky to crash above the sky. Formed, with the formation of the blood-colored vortex, countless ghosts, and the people in Honggu did not stop at all, and immediately threw themselves away, and a blood-colored aura filled with death also permeated. The blood-colored vortex in the sky had just formed, and the evil spirits just a little bit, and they were instantly submerged in the blood-colored vortex. As the evil spirits were submerged in the blood-colored vortex, the constant stream of ghosts in the entire Yin corpse forest was also madly pouring into the blood-colored vortex. Without exception, their bodies were extremely inflated, and then they exploded when they came into contact with the blood-colored vortex. With the mad influx of ghosts, the blood-colored vortex in the sky is also becoming more and more solid and growing. Stop it for me. Yuquan also shouted loudly, and then restrained the red leaves that were about to move in one fell swoop. Yuquan, I'm not finished with you. Hongye also shouted angrily. Hongye turned her head and couldn't bear to watch her own blood swirl into the sky one by one. There seemed to be some crystal tears in her beautiful eyes. Do you want to give up all your achievements? Yuquan snorted coldly. Hongye is also considered to be self-made. These subordinates have been with her for a long time. Hongye also can't bear it. It's really a wrong step, a wrong step. Hongye also shook his head, but there was some extremely terrifying killing intent in his eyes. It's almost time. Twin Ghost Emperor. Yuquan also laughed, then looked at the humans on the ground. Most of the fighting chi in the body was almost practical, so he looked at the sky with peace of mind. This yin and evil is really generous. In Xiao Yang's mind, an admiring voice also sounded. Huh. Xiao Yang was concentrating on the compression of soul power and spiritual power at this time, so he didn't notice the changes in the sky too much, but Xiao Yang still felt a wave from the terrifying blood-colored vortex. A very evil aura of destruction. Have you seen the blood-colored vortex above the sky? That's a ghost skill that can only be used by twin ghost emperors. Death is terrifying. The Golden Dragon King also said slowly. Death is terrifying? Xiao Yang was also quite surprised. Obviously he did not expect this to be the last power of the twin ghost emperors. Previously, with the help of his master, the Golden Dragon King, Xiao Yang felt an extremely tyrannical fluctuation from the deepest part of the dead yin and evil body. The power of the source composition, as expected of a twin ghost emperor. Xiao Yang also muttered. Obviously, he also felt an extremely terrifying power from the growing blood-colored vortex. Once absorbed by the evil, the power of the evil has returned to its peak, and those present will also. However, Xiao Yang was too busy to deal with it, so he had to deal with a few forces in his hands, because Xiao Yang also wanted to see how his full-strength blow could reach various levels. Since this Soul Eater talisman is an evil soldier in the ghost world, it should also have an extremely tyrannical restraint effect on evil spirits. Xiao Yang said, and a dark force in his hand also emerged from the Soul Eater talisman. Then all of them merged into the lotus of silence in his hand. Several powers of completely different nature were brewed in Xiao Yang's hands, and they were slowly merging. Xiao Yang had absolute confidence. Once these powers were successfully merged, their destructive power would be stronger than any previous attack. It's just that Xiao Yang didn't realize that when the dark mysterious power of the Soul Eater talisman was injected into the previous soul power and spiritual power, the black energy seemed to have gained absolute control, suppressing the soul power and spiritual power. They are all retreats. Above the sky, Chang Yu's eyes were slightly solemn when he saw the evil appearance. In the sky at this time, an extremely terrifying blood-colored vortex is slowly taking shape. This is. Chang Yu also shrank his pupils tightly, obviously he didn't expect it. I didn't expect this evil spirit to be so willing. Don't hesitate to spend the power of the entire Yin Corpse forest. The slightly weak Nine Souls monument on the side also spoke slowly. After the Nine Souls monument finished speaking, Hu Du and Wu Jiang also wrinkled their eyes slightly, obviously also shocked by Inxia's tactics. Big Tiger, what is this? Mu Yingying also felt an extremely terrifying force from the blood-colored vortex in front of her. This is the furnace method of the ghost world. Fusing the power generated by self-destruction to generate enough terrifying power to allow this evil spirit to devour it back to its peak. Tianhua Shangyang also said indifferently, but the voice in his mouth was extraordinarily solemn. This. Mu Yingying bit her lips when she heard the words. Obviously she didn't expect this evil spirit to be so terrifying. Immediately, the jade hand raised slightly, as if to show something. Don't worry, there are hours. Seeing this, the heavenly fire sacred tiger was also stopped by an extremely soft flame energy that stopped Mu Yingying's actions. Although I don't know who you are, I like the flame on you very much. There is an indescribable kindness on your body, so if I am here, Ju won't hurt you. Tianhua Shenghu also grinned. But Mu Yingying was about to speak just now, but the four people above the sky moved. Go. Chang Yu snorted coldly. As Chang Yu's words fell, the Nine Soul Monument, Tianhua Sacred Tiger, Hu Du and Wu Jiang were also monstrous, and they said they launched an attack. Burning Incense Palm. Chang Yu took the lead in launching the attack. The red robe was filled with terrifying red flames, and then the next moment, 100 Zhong-sized palm print attacked the blood-colored vortex above the sky viciously. The huge palm print composed of Do-Chi cages attacked the blood-colored vortex above the sky. As soon as it attacked the blood-colored vortex, a monstrous flame energy erupted. You read www.ukungshu.com and then a blood-colored ghost in the blood-colored vortex also fought fiercely. Break me. Seeing that his attack was intercepted, Chang Yu's blue veins burst out immediately, and then Do-Chi appeared in his hands, and he squeezed fiercely in his hand, and suddenly the huge flame palm print not far away exploded. At this time, there was no damage in the blood-colored vortex, but the terrifying fireball of the heavenly fire sacred tiger came in an instant. In addition to the joint fighting skills of Hu Du and Wu Jiang, the three forces attacked one after the other in the same place in the whirlpool. Even the strength of the blood-colored vortex could not withstand the three attacks that filled the sky, so just after they succeeded, there was a brief stagnation around the blood-colored vortex, and a gap appear. The attack of the Nine Souls Monument also came in an instant. At this time, the Do-Chi in the Nine Soul Monument has been used more than half, but it is still glowing with red light, and then raises the fairy sword in his hand, a strong breath accompanied by the purification power above the fairy sword, attacking fiercely in the above a small gap in the blood-colored vortex. With the red light and the attack of the gap in the blood-colored vortex, a monstrous howl of ghosts and wolves suddenly emanated from the blood-colored vortex. You don't have to do useless struggles. The ghost skill I used with the power of my life, fear of death. It's not you who can crack it. The voice in the whirlpool also appeared in the ears of everyone, but they could all I feel that the strength of this evil is also slowly recovering in the blood-colored vortex. This video will end here.